The Battle of Uhud, Ghazwa Uhud, which took place in 625 CE, remains one of the most significant battles in early Islamic history. It occurred about a year after the Muslims' decisive victory at the Battle of Badr, where the Muslims had defeated the Quraysh of Mecca. This victory had greatly diminished the power and prestige of the Quraysh, and they sought revenge, determined to reassert their dominance over the Muslims. In response, the Quraysh assembled an army of around 3,000 soldiers under the leadership of Abu Sufyan, one of the most influential figures in Mecca at the time. On the other side, the Muslim forces, led by the Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him, consisted of only about 700 men, including some inexperienced fighters. Despite being outnumbered, the Muslims, filled with faith and determination, set out to defend their city of Medina from the impending Meccan assault. Upon reaching the foot of Mount Uhud, the Prophet Muhammad, acting on strategic wisdom, placed his soldiers in a formation that would give them the advantage. He positioned a group of archers on a small hill at the rear of the Muslim army, specifically instructing them to stay in place and not leave their post, regardless of the outcome of the battle. This would prevent any potential attack from the Meccan cavalry, who would be at a disadvantage in an open field battle. Initially, the battle went in favor of the Muslims. The Meccan army was driven back, and it seemed like victory was in sight for the Muslim forces. However, the turning point came when the archers, stationed at the rear of the Muslim army, saw the enemy forces retreating and made a critical mistake. Against the explicit command of the Prophet, many of the archers abandoned their positions, rushing down the hill in pursuit of the spoils of war. They assumed the battle was won and that there was no longer any danger from the rear. This moment of disobedience opened up a critical vulnerability for the Muslim army. Taking advantage of this gap, Khalid ibn al-Walid, who was leading the Meccan cavalry, swiftly attacked from the rear and flank, catching the Muslims by surprise. The situation quickly deteriorated as the Quraysh cavalry wreaked havoc on the Muslim forces. The Prophet Muhammad, along with several of his companions, found themselves surrounded and under heavy attack. The situation grew more chaotic when rumors spread among the Muslims that the Prophet had been killed, leading to confusion and panic within their ranks. Despite the devastating circumstances, the Prophet Muhammad remained steadfast and continued to encourage his followers to fight. His leadership in this moment of crisis proved to be a beacon of hope for the Muslims, who, though heavily outnumbered and under attack, managed to regroup at the base of Mount Uhud. The battle ended with the Quraysh retreating, but it was far from a decisive victory for them. The Muslims had suffered considerable losses, including the martyrdom of several prominent figures, such as the Prophet's beloved uncle, Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib. Hamza's death was particularly tragic as his body was mutilated by the Meccans, causing immense grief to the Prophet and the Muslim community. In the aftermath of the battle, the Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him addressed the Muslim forces, offering them both consolation and valuable lessons. He reminded them that the defeat was not a result of their faith, but due to their failure to adhere to the commands and maintain discipline. He stressed that success and failure in life are tests from Allah, and that patience, perseverance, and trust in divine will are essential for any believer. This battle underscored the importance of obedience to leadership and unity among the Muslim forces, as even small acts of disobedience or division could lead to great consequences. Though the Battle of Uhud ended without a clear winner, it had a profound impact on the early Muslim community. The loss taught the Muslims valuable lessons in strategy, discipline, and resilience. It also strengthened their resolve, helping them grow in unity and determination. The Muslims emerged from the Battle of Uhud with a renewed sense of purpose, and this event became a stepping stone toward future victories, including the eventual conquest of Mecca. For the Muslims, the battle also carried a deeper spiritual lesson. The Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him used the aftermath of the battle to remind the believers that victory and defeat are both part of Allah's plan, and that Muslims should never lose faith, regardless of the circumstances. The events of Uhud were also a reminder of the fleeting nature of worldly success, emphasizing the importance of striving for righteousness, regardless of the challenges one may face. This was the Battle of Uhud, a story of bravery, loss, and learning. It wasn't just a military conflict, but a lesson in faith, unity, and the trials that come with leadership. The aftermath of this battle helped shape the early Islamic community, forging them into a stronger, more resilient force. If you like this story and want to learn more about Islamic history, please don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you insightful content.